Okay, then we move on to the zombie apocalypse questions. Now, part of what you need to do is to write write answers in sentences. That is one of your outcomes, so you need to keep that in mind. Okay, so the information I'm giving you is during the zombie apocalypse, I probably should say, Mr. Benson kills 3 zombies every morning and then 2 more each hour. So, how many zombies will Mr. Benson kill in 3 hours? Now, there are 2 ways you can think about this one. One of them is just to think about the information I've got. Does it make a linear equation? If you can see that from the start, then that will actually help you all the way through. And it is one of the things I ask you to do anyway. Now, if you think about the information I've given you a fixed value of 3. If I've given you a fixed value, that must be the y-intercept. Then I'm giving you a rate, 2 per hour. That must be your gradient. So if you're thinking about this in terms of a linear equation, it's got to be y equals 2x plus 3. So one way you could think about how many I'll kill in 3 hours is just, this would be when x equals 3, so y will equals 2 times 3 plus 3, which equals 9. Look, you can just think about it in terms of what the question's asking you without really putting it in the form of the equations. If I kill 3 every morning, then I'm going to start off with 3, 2 more each hour, so 2 for each hour for 3 hours. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, plus the original 3 gives me 9. So that, either way, I'm going to kill 9. Now, really, you should say Mr. B will kill 9 zombies in 3 hours. That's what you would need to do to get full marks for a question like that. You must write your answer as a sentence. Okay, write an equation. Now, you may have already done this, but the only thing is I've asked you to show the number of zombies killed, Z, and the time as T. So you don't have to always stick with y and x. We're often going to come across equations where we'll use other pronumerals. But other than that, the equation's exactly the same. Our gradient is 2. T is the in place of x in this particular example, and 3 is our y-intercept. So the equation would be z equals 2t plus 3. That's probably not a question you would write as a sentence because you're just being asked for an equation. Okay, sketch the graph of this equation. Now, it's got that notation that some of you don't like very much. 0 is less than t, which is less than 10. All that means is on our time axis, we're going to go from 0 to 10. So we're going to have a graph which looks something like this. So we've got t, we've got z. Now, a graph should really have a title as well, even if it's just something simple like zombies killed. Now, first thing you should think about, probably the easiest one of all, is your y-intercept. It's given to you in the question and you've written it in your equation. So your graph is going to start at 3. Now, what I think is the best way to sketch a graph like this, where you're told that your t value goes from 0 to 10, is rather than trying to work out your second point from your gradient intercept method or something like that, rather than doing that, just substitute the maximum t value into your equation. So just take this value of 10 and put it into your equation here. So if t equals 10, 2t will be 20, plus 3 will give you a maximum z value of 23. So I would just put my next point up there. I do something like putting 23 on my z-axis there, so we know where that point is clearly, and draw a line up there. Look, another way you could probably do it is you could probably put 10, 23, and I'd accept that answer as a way of showing the point as well. Okay, question D. So this is a question that's asking you to use the equation. So it says, I kill 19 zombies, how many hours are required? Now you should have worked out that this is a linear equation, and you've written your equation down, so z equals 2t plus 3. Now I'm telling you in this question z equals 19, so you have to substitute 19 into this equation and then solve for t. So 19 equals 2t plus 3. Now, if you're not fond of doing this on paper, once you'd written that down, I would be perfectly happy if you got on your CAS calculator, went into the main menu, the solve function, you could do 19 equals 2 times t plus 3, comma t, and execute, and it should solve that for you. If you want to do it the long way, which is fine, and it shouldn't be very hard for you, to get the t by itself we have to take away 3 from both sides, so 2t will equal 16. We've then got to divide it all by 2, so t equals 8. Now this is a question where you've got to write an answer as a sentence, so it would take Mr. Benson 8 hours to kill 19 zombies. Okay, and going on to the